Hello, welcome to the Auburn Chess Club. I'm Brian Morse, member of the club. We're near Sacramento, California. I've been analyzing games from the Las Vegas Chess Club tournament called the Rocking It Open. Here's another game from round 3. The players are Martin Burch and Todd Imada. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the preliminary moves. We're on move 27, but it's always good to kind of get a sense of how we got there. So move 27, White's building up double attack on the knight on f6, only one defender. Black has to address that. He could go there, or he could go to h5. He chooses here to go to e8. Black chooses to exchange it. For one thing, it releases the knight from his defensive duty by taking off that bishop. Granted, it creates a hole in front of the king on g7. So it's arguable what you would prefer to do. In this case now, White is about 2 pawns ahead. So the machine likes what White's doing. The knight goes to g7. Knight forks the 2 rooks. You think, well, the bishop can take off the knight. Yes, he can. And he does. But now that pawn is on the 6th rank. He threatens to fork the rooks, and he's backed up by a bishop on g2. So that pawn is really, I'm sure you've heard that as a pawn gets closer to promotion, it has the strength of a piece. I think this pawn, you could argue, has the strength of a piece. The machine, I suppose, agrees with me because it shows White with about a 3.5 pawn advantage now. But we're still driving toward what I found most interesting about this game. So he moves a rook. If that pawn advances, he can't. He'll be taken. Rook on the 7th rank. Powerful. What else to be said about it? So he comes out to attack it. Now, I'm going to give you about 5 seconds here to ask yourself, what would you do with your rook? Could back it up to b7, guarded by the pawn. Could go to d7, probably trade rooks, pawn takes, rook goes to d8. That pawn probably falls. What did White do? He takes the f7 pawn. I think that's not so easy to see. Strong players would see it, but for average players like me, I think that's not so easy to see. I think it's such an important, let's look at it right now. What's White got going for it? Well, first of all, the queen's on c3, attacking all the dark squares. That king doesn't have a lot of room for escape. Where are all the pieces that might guard the king? Well, both rooks are on the 8th rank. The queen is on a6. The queen's going to take a couple moves to get over there and help out. So what does he do? Let's back up and look at what if he takes with the king? The bishop comes. It's looking grim. King goes to, let's say he goes here. This game's almost over. He's got one square. And that square isn't enough. It's over. And if he goes here, it's not much better. Rook e1. He would love to escape to d7, but that pawn is so strong. All right, so let's back up. So the king knows he can't do it. I think your average player even would look at this and say, I can't take that. So let's attack it. And that's what happened in the game. He took, checks him again. He's forced to throw the rook in the way. The rook's coming into the game. That rook is stuck in the mud. He's pinned against the king. The queen can do what he wants. The white queen can do what she wants. Black is desperately trying to find a way. And the problem is, how does that black king stop the white pawn's promotion? And then you have a queen and a bunch of pawns against pawns. Game over.